So this is my second brain that you're looking at right now. So this knows everything about my business. It knows what I'm doing right now, and it knows my state, and it also knows everything that I use in my business. So all the knowledge that I use and need every day. And it also knows about my clients and what I'm doing for my clients, because they're just files on my computer. And this is just a fancy visualization of everything, right? So you can see all the different nodes that are connected here. So every node stands for one memory or one project or one task, and they're connected together. Before I tell you how you can build one yourself, I tell you what it actually does for you. Because the obvious and most important thing it solves is that it gives your AI context about everything in your business at all times. And the second thing is, it has an awareness about your current state. So no more chats when you open your chat and you have to explain yourself what you actually want to do. No, it knows all of that. And I show you how it does that, and then you can build it on your own. And this is when this second brain comes in, it knows everything. So whenever I start a new chat, it already knows what I have to do today. So just watch. Hey Claude, can you actually tell me what's on my plate today in the morning, and what are the next steps and what are my highest priorities? So what it actually does, it goes into my second brain, it looks into what I call state, so the state of my current business, and that is built all the time. So it makes this AI, Claude, so much more intelligent, basically has infinite value for your business if you have that. So you can see it reads my vault, which is called Mirko AI Vault. So it knows exactly everything that I'm doing, and it constantly updates and learns. All right, here's the morning brief. Morning Mirko, pulled this from State, and your priorities file. Today is Wednesday, content launch plan, blah, blah, blah. And here it says my number one priority is shoot and publish AI Skoolers pillar video number 1, make Claude your co-founder. So it even reminds me where I stand. So Sales Funnel Masterclass is evergreen with 3 paying founders. So it gives me my priorities even in some files. So I know exactly what I have to do. And this is true for all my clients, for all my projects, all my products and everything that I do. I can open any new chat and just use my vault, and then Claude, my co-founder, knows everything and can execute on what I want him to do. So after this, Claude really feels like a real co-founder of your business and helps you to get ahead faster, to make progress faster, earn more money, get back more time, and automate the important parts of your business, right? And this will give you a clear edge over your competition. The people in your space that are not utilizing Claude and AI to their fullest potential. And even better, it's even self-learning and self-improving. So this is really, really important for you to get. So obvious use cases of this are that it knows about your clients, because it's just the files that you have on your clients anyways, and then it learns on them as well. So if you make progress or develop a new procedure and have a success with one client or one business part, then you can take this over to another client or to another part of your business. And it applies the frameworks automatically for you then. And another great thing is it really can keep you on track. So as a small business or even one person business, you usually know probably this feeling that you have to constantly keep you on track and decide what are my top priorities here and where do I really spend my time, and there's so much to do. And if you have this kind of co-founder with a second brain, then this really helps you, because you make the decision once together, and then it keeps you on track, and it gives you, like what I showed you already, a morning brief, tells you your priorities, so you don't have to spend your brain power, your energy on these kinds of tasks, so you immediately can go. That doesn't mean that it takes over your business or leads you into a wrong direction. Obviously, you're still in the driving seat, but it can help you to automate things that you don't want to spend your energy or brain power on, right? And the big one is it learns by itself. So every session can update your second brain if you want to, and add something that improves the overall system. And you don't have to maintain the system. Claude is doing this on its own. You just have to approve or disapprove. So you basically just do the work together, and it gets smarter by doing this. So I think this is really great. And I think in the future, it differentiates people who are utilizing this kind of power in AI right now versus people who are doing it more casually. So all in all, AI stops feeling like a chatbot by using this second brain method, and it feels more like a real co-founder that executes with you and makes your business better and faster. So it's like you have a COO and a strategist and a full team if you add the skills and procedures with it. And it obviously helps you to reach your goals faster, make more money, get more time back, get more reach, or whatever your business goals are right now. All right, so here's the plan. I show you mine running now, and then I show you a way how you can start building your own second brain and make Claude your co-founder and accelerate from there. So if we go from the fancy looking graph to what is really behind the scenes, then let's look into the files. And by the way, the app I'm using here is called Obsidian. This is a free app. You can download it right away and use it, and it's basically just a representation of files. So there's nothing fancy, at least I'm not using anything fancy with it. It just reads the markdown language files that Claude is using, and the magic really appears from Claude constantly using and updating these files and putting in knowledge and picking up the knowledge that is in there, especially the state. So what is this system really made of? So let's look at the key components. So the key component obviously is the CLAUDE.md. This is my file here. So it basically explains what Mirko AI Vault really is. It's a router for Claude Code and all AI harnesses, so it's AI agnostic. I can use the system, and this is a big benefit as well, with any kind of AI. So you can use it with Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude. Obviously, we are using it with Claude. So the CLAUDE.md file basically explains how the whole system works, right? So there's a retrieval protocol, there's a hot cache. The hot cache is the state. And I have to say, this is constantly evolving, right? So I'm adding new things and technology. AI develops further, right? So there's an evolution of things, and this is true here as well. So the other one is a start here node, and this is one that your AI will read. Basically tells you Mirko AI Vault Router start here. This is Mirko's central second brain, a single source of truth that multiple AIs access, Claude Chat, Cobalt Code, optionally ChatGPT, and so on. And that Mirko himself reads and browses in Obsidian. The router holds pointers and not knowledge. Right, so the knowledge is in the files. So this is basically how it is set up, right? And by the way, I give you all of that as the setup as a file. You can download this in my community. If you go there, you will get it right in this community. So you can set this up. This is the way to get started, because you don't have to do the work yourself. You can just use what is the template and then get started from there and fill your own vault, your own state, and use it for your business, right? So the critical thing is really here, all the knowledge files, and I have references. There are all the frameworks that I'm using. And then also we have state. I can't show you the actual state because this is a real private data, but I quickly scroll through it and I have to blur it. Most people show you something and it's not really the real thing. So they orchestrate it up front. So this is the real thing. One thing that is important to know is that I don't actually read this file myself, the file itself, because that's basically the file for Claude. And Claude will read it, update it all the time. So that's why it also looks quite like a text block. So I can't really, it's not easy on the eyes, right? So that's why Claude will read this on himself and just is the interface. So Claude is the interface and giving me what is in there and updates it constantly. So this is basically the core of his second brain, or I would say the short-term memory. And the long-term memory is everything that is here in the files. And here's the software, basically, the execution that I showed you with the CLAUDE.md and the STATE.md, how to use it, the how-to files. And then basically here you also have a backup of the state. So he basically puts what we did in the past into a backup, which is also still able to be referenced. So it's a very intelligent system. So one way I make sure that Claude is knowing everything and is up to date with the state. So my current business situation is that in any kind of project that I use with him here in Claude Home now, formerly Cowork, it knows everything because I have it in the instructions. So when I go to instructions, you can see check the Obsidian Vault, Mirko AI under this folder for every new starting chat. So here's the state file, and this is exactly what he reads. And this just makes sure that whenever I start a new chat, it will check state, and honestly, it will also, as a co-founder, sometimes stop me from wandering off in La La Land and trying to start something new that is not on target, and it will remind me. So this is a neat little function of having a co-founder, because it says, hey, wait a minute, we committed on these kind of goals for this week or for today. This is your number one priority. Is this really helping? So this is a little side effect, but the two main things are really the state. So the current strategy, the what, it's a hot cache, and then the references, those are the distilled frameworks, and it's the craft. So As an example, if I want to build a new sales page, it knows exactly the framework that I'm using for that and all the experiences that I gathered over the time building sales pages for my clients, for myself, and all the market tested feedback that I got from these kind of experiences. So they are distilled into this knowledge. So you can see how this is self-learning, self-improving, not by theory, but by actual feedback. So that's quite important and makes this system really intelligent. And if you want to speak about the references, which are basically the frameworks I'm using, so you can see them here. There's a folder references and it has a lot of frameworks that I'm using. Here's, for instance, meta ads testing. So it's basically how to run meta ads and all the experiences I did over 12 years. Here are second brain levels, self-reflection methods, school community funnel, school money models, funnel flywheel math, money market sophistication by Eugene Schwartz from Breakthrough Advertising. So anything that I use in my business, the most important frameworks are here and I don't have to remember them. Of course, I'm using them from my brain as well. But the good thing is Claude in my second brain has them stored and can execute on them without me telling him. And that's what he does. So if you like to, I have outlined a 6-step process for you to build your own second brain right now. You can play along or visit this video later and do it. And it's a 6-step process, pretty easy. So build your second brain. We start with your vault and we start by downloading Obsidian. So you go to Obsidian.md. Again, it's just a simple app that shows your vault, your files. So your vault again is simply a folder that your AI operates in. So you go to the Obsidian.md and then you get Obsidian for your platform. So mine is macOS. So I click here, then you install it. I think this is something that you can do on your own. And once it's installed, you simply switch to the app. And then you can see here is my vault, but you're creating a new one. So you go to File and then Open Vault. And then there's this little screen here and you say you can open a folder as a vault. So this is if you already have a folder that you want to use, or you just click Create Vault. And that's pretty easy. So you give it a name. So this is like our test vault for testing purposes. And then you select the location. And usually you just put it into your documents folder and then you press create. And there you go. You have created your own vault, which is right now totally empty. And you can already see there's this graph feature here, but there's nothing in there, just a welcome note, right? So congratulations, you have created your vault. So if we go back to our build your second brain plan, the next step is to create the folders that your AI Claude will work in. So for me personally, it's a business is the first folder. Then I have clients. This is where my clients go into. So everything that I work with my clients. I have a folder that is called content, where my content marketing goes into, which usually gets pretty bloated. So the videos that I'm doing here, and inbox. In business is basically almost everything that I do. So then from there, you basically let Claude handle everything. So you go back to Claude and what you just have done within Obsidian is you have created this folder, your test vault, which is basically a folder. So you just click here and then you select, choose a different folder. And from there, you basically go to documents and you select your test vault and you click open. So allow Claude to change files in test vault. Absolutely. You want to allow this. We can click always allow as well. And then from here, it's pretty easy. You basically give Claude a prompt to do everything for you. So I will just read this into Claude and you can go along. Set up my second brain in this vault. First, create the folders, business, clients, content, inbox. Second, write the CLAUDE.md. You are my co-founder, not an assistant. Give me direct pushback. Read business/state.md first in every session. Never invent numbers, ask me. Third, create business/state.md as an empty skeleton. Situation, offers, numbers, decision logs, current focus. Then interview me about my business, offer, clients, goals, current bottlenecks, and write my state.md from there, from my answers. And this will be our hot cache in the future. So let's execute this. And then basically Claude does everything for you in this new vault. Here you can see it's a test vault and that's your vault. You obviously name this as your business is called, right? By the way, if you hear my dog barking in the background, I'm sorry about this. And if you're wondering, you can get this exact prompt and everything that we just talked about if you go to my community. The link is in the description below and you can get all of this from there. As you can see, he's a bit confused because he usually has access to my other vault, but now he's actually creating the new vault. And that shouldn't happen with you because you're just creating your vault completely new. So this is done. You can see he gives the structure back, and he also has planned on the interviewing and populating the STATE.md. So that's pretty cool. So he now basically starts the interviewing process, and that's necessary to populate the vault in an intelligent way, right? So this will self-develop and evolve over time, but you basically want to have a good starting point so you can work and get value from this right away. So for the interview, we came up with what's the business in one line, what do you sell and to whom? What are your offers right now, name, price, format, and which one is the main engine today, numbers that matter, monthly revenue, and so on and so on. So I give him this number, and then we will come back and we will make an actual test run with this new test vault, and you can see how this works. And hopefully you work along and then you use this for your own business. And please let me know in the comments how this worked for you or what kind of questions you have. So I dictated the things that are important. So I said them AI Skoolers is my main business, and I also have a sales funnel agency, and I have a sales funnel masterclass, and I think that's enough for starting purposes. So we have 3 products and businesses already, and I don't have to give them everything. It's just for testing purposes. So he knows that, and I send it over, and probably he populates everything now. So as you can see, he captured this. He's writing past 1 into the STATE.md now. Situation offers populated, numbers left as track KPIs with no values. I won't invent them. So this will obviously evolve over time. So pass 1 is in the vault. So pass 2, your client goals, and pass 3, bottlenecks and focuses. This is something that you can do along, and especially the bottlenecks and focuses are very important. This is something that frankly just developed because I was using the system. So what that means is usually you have some kind of decisions to make at any point in time. So I had some tough decisions to make with what kind of offers, what kind of markets should I go into. And I noticed that those are bottlenecks or knots to solve, right? And that determines basically where you focus on with your business. So it's critically important to make good decisions in your business. And this is what this is specifically for, to resolve the knots and make good decisions in your business, right? So maybe you want to adapt this kind of strategy and use your co-founder Claude with your vault in order to make good decisions in your business. Hopefully you will. So now let's test it. So please give me my current situation in my business and my priorities right now as far as we have defined them already. So as you can see, it already read the state, and obviously for this demo, there's not much in there, but he already knows the current situation. You run a portfolio built around AI for one-person businesses with 2 pillars, the course AI Skoolers, and then there's the sales funnel business, and so on. So you can see and get the idea how this works and how this will enrich everything that you do with your AI in the future. And I think my doc is the same opinion about that. So I would suggest that you just follow through with this, experiment with it, and use it in order to improve your business. And hopefully this was valuable for you. So if you want to deepen your knowledge about this, and especially want to make Claude your co-founder, automate social media, earn more money, outsmart your competition, get back your time, and become dangerous with AI, then I'd like to invite you to join AI Skoolers. And there's a classroom, and I will obviously help you there with building your second business brain. But then we have a lot more to make Claude your co-founder and start automating key parts of your business like sales, content, and specific workflows like video editing or sales page building, landing pages, all that great stuff that will help you and free up your time and make more money. So this is an open invitation to join there. Just click the link below and I will see you there. All right, so this is basically the meat of the video. And if you are in Obsidian here, you can see you can always switch back to another vault. I'm switching back to this one, to my actual business vault. And this is where we started in the beginning. You can click on this graph and it shows you everything that you have in your vault. Obviously yours is empty when you start, so you need to populate it and work with it with Claude. And this will give you a real edge over people that just use Claude or AI casually and chat with it. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. I'd like you to subscribe to this channel because I will be publishing new videos on this topic, making Claude your co-founder and advancing your business with AI. So please subscribe and give the video a like if you benefited from it and you liked it. So that's for this video, and I see you in the next one.